Okay.
All right,
Yeah, I
do you
got
see
some
it?
shot.
Yes.
All right, all right.
No.
We're live, we're live. It's working.
Ah, shit.
Uh RJ, it's working?
Yes.
All right, good, good. Hello everyone. Sorry for the awkward start there. Welcome to the anime podcast for May 2021. Um we had a few technical difficulties. The main guy Josh, who we have stream, his internet is out and he can't stream right now, so I have to take it over. And that's why it's going to look kind of bad. It's just going to be still image, and I think it's a fitting image. It's the subtitles say "can't be helped, can't be helped," because in this short of notice, it can't be helped. Anyway, why don't everyone introduce yourselves? I am, of course, Neo Tokyo Tempo.
Girl Neko is here.
Okay.
Don't be
Slow
shy. Come
or
on.
Striker Red?
Say that again.
It's Lou, also known as Striker Red. How's it going?
And finally,
And
It is I, the Red Baron. No, I'm just joking. I'm RJ. Hey.
all right, all right. So, for this month, we watched Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer came out in 2019, and it's about a young boy who his family, his whole family was killed by demons in the first episode. Not a spoiler. Um, and he finds out that his sister got transformed into a demon, and he goes on a quest to become a demon slayer to find the head demon who transformed his sister into a demon and try to figure out how to turn his sister back into a human. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the animation. Um, I,
well,
I think the animation for this show, it's kind of a mixed bag. When things are actually animated, it looks good, but then it'll use CGI and things that you wouldn't really expect an anime to use CGI for, like characters walking and stuff like that, and it looks kind of bad.
I don't know about bad, but certainly jarring for this kind of show.
Yeah, it kind of it sticks out like a sore thumb. Like even if it is like good CGI, it still doesn't really fit. If you've seen us before, you know how we feel about CGI in general. But it just it makes sense to like do CGI for like a car in the background or something like that. But like a walking sequence for like the main character is a little off.
The reason for that is because they try to adopt the visual style of the manga in the first place, and the style of manga is like this very like one of these, Clamp, right?
Yeah.
The studio that made, well, not studio, but the Dojin's, not Jordan, but they're a big
Dojin.
drawing
The,
circle
the
essentially.
manga artist who made
Yeah,
series
artist.
like
And they always have these smooth characters. They have all the round edges and all that stuff, right? This is like the opposite of it. It's all rough. It's all uh like rough strokes on the paper essentially. And that's exactly why it's really bad in terms of 3D, because you need to actually adjust on the model a lot of different details. But even fraud table, I'm sorry, UFA table, really has no idea what the hell they're doing. This is the same problem that they have in the recent Fate films, and pretty much all of the stuff. Although it's better than Fate, obviously. But the original art doesn't translate in 3D, period. Like, you look at what they've done with the, for example, a video game that they're gonna, well, I think they announced last year, but it's gonna come out like this year. It's the same problem. It does not adjust to the style as well. Like, you can make a model, just slap that thing on top of it, but it's just like, ugh. And it looks like Knights of Sidonia at some points.
Yeah,
But
it is very, very difficult to make a 3D object blend in with 2D animation. That's the big issue. That that's my main issue with using 3D in anime. Because like 3D animation in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's the combination of 3D and 2D that it doesn't blend well. It doesn't look all that good.
yeah, not only that, but you also have to like make a decent amount of rendering processing power units to actually get that thing right. The animation on 3D models are fine. It's just that the design is kind of off.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't
Other
even, I,
go ahead.
I don't even want to talk about animation. I just want to talk about the color palette, really, because that is something I actually enjoyed. But go on.
No, talk about the color palette.
Oh, okay.
Very bright.
Yeah, it's very tasteful. I actually dig it, especially the gradients in the costumes regarding the main characters, the parents as well. Really, if there's something I actually respect about Japan, it's the fact that they are, when it comes to artistry, they are very tasteful people. They know what they're doing. It just looks so right, especially Tomioka's cubist setup. You know, in other words, his kimono with all the squares on top of each other, and Shinobu's pattern being like a butterfly, like a butterfly wing, and Danjiro's. Well, I'll be honest with you, these people have some of the most well dressed. All right, let me start again. Uh, in all honesty, these people have some of the best looking dreads I've ever seen. And by dreads, I mean clothes, costumes. I I actually enjoyed the the effects from the formers that the swords themselves unleashed. Well, not the swords themselves, but rather the people who the demon slayers themselves, like Tanjiro's water form, which looks exactly like the one in the manga. But
Yeah.
I feel like they used a lot of cell shading to make this a reality. Like let's say 3D, but with additional cell shading. It kind of looks like an ukiyo-e painting gone live. You know.
Yeah. Um all the powers that they're using and the stances and stuff like that. It all looks very good. Especially the water the water attacks. They they do have that like traditional Japanese painting style to them, and it just looks very good. It's very detailed.
Yeah,
Fight
that's a
scenes,
total plus.
yeah, fight scenes in general. you can really feel the energy and the impact on really everything. You know, you know there's a lot of energy. It's exciting. It's very entertaining. There's genuine suspense. Um,
There's you can't help but root for this guy because Tanjiro just half-asses. How should I say? It's not really half-asses. Sorry, I meant to say he ass pulls like some of the craziest shit to adapt to his situation. In other words, he really took the whole term about being wanted by Bruce Lee to a key
Literally.
because it is literally.
Well, not literally, but yeah, close enough.
There's also a couple of the fights that I found interesting, like the one with the demon, the arm demon, and the girl with the balls. You know, the ones with the tamari balls, the pattern balls. My God, those things were Those things were incredibly destructive, considering that there are basically traditional Japanese rubber balls. But the way she throws them, though, holy shit! Oh, and then there's the kickball scene with her and Nezuko, which I found really fucking entertaining to the point I even and I am not kidding it about it. I did the best stereotypical soccer announcer from Latin America in order to make this a lot more entertaining.
yeah, that's another thing
And
about
then
the fight scenes is it's almost like Full Metal Alchemist, where like it's not just like strong dudes fighting each other, and instead you have varieties of very interesting uh, fighting styles and powers going up against each other, and they really have to think in order to figure out how to defeat their opponents, and that's quite good. Um, let's move on. Unless anyone has some final words about the animation.
I really liked the fire dance, the scene where he's remembering his father doing the fire dance.
oh, the Kagura dance. Oh,
Very fluid animation.
my God, that was pretty fucking amazing, dude.
Yep.
Not just that, but also the finishes regarding like the finishing attacks. There's some glorious stuff, my dude.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the music and sound design.
Um,
Go
I
ahead.
want to start first, real quick, but regarding the intro and outro, I actually like it. I took a listen to them more than once, and Lisa, honestly, Lisa could do no wrong regarding the opening intros and the ending intros. That was a good choice.
Well, it's a good choice. It's a great song, but Lisa, I mean, after was it few last Sword Art Online games or films? I don't know.
No.
She kind of
I mean,
digging herself out of the hole at that point.
I haven't even watched Sword Art Online,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah. It's a bit of a
so
spoiler for you then.
yeah.
But
But
the
I'm saying in
music
this case,
is
it's a good choice.
amazing. Not only the opening, but the ending is great.
Yeah.
The where action sequences happen also awesome. It's not only like the bidding itself into the sort of wall of like this is how you're supposed to, like, this is a new level for shonen genre in general, because like it's not only paced well, but it also gives you suspense at each scene to begin with. And I mean, since I watched the film, they improve that stuff in the film as well. Like it's I don't know who else who can do this kind of pacing of music, the sound, the voice acting much better. Uh, Probably Titans, but Titan kind of sucks. So that's probably the top
I'm
at this point on the.
don't know.
Shonen
I'm
food chain.
I'm not entirely sold on the music. I don't think there was anything like particularly bad about it. Um, and I think it did its job extremely well. Um,
Yes.
but nothing really stuck in my head as far as music goes. There's no point where there's no point where it's like, oh, I gotta open up the soundtrack so I can find that this particular track. Which is that I don't think that's a big criticism. Because that's most shows. Most shows are like that. Even in older anime, most shows are like that. Uh, it's easy to look back with rose-tinted glasses and be like, "Oh, Cowboy Bebop soundtrack." Um, but
Just don't tell it to fans, okay?
oh well, it was a
Comes with
good.
downvotes.
Well, it was a good soundtrack, but most most shows are like that. Um, but I will say it for what it is and what it's trying to do. It was definitely very effective. So I'm not gonna really knock it too much. There's not really much to knock.
I'll be honest with you. A couple of the melodies reminded me of another song, Orpheus by Ash, which is this rock band from like the early 2000s. I remember them
Oh,
because of the yeah, I
yeah.
remember because of Burnout 3. Like for example, when the guitar what do you call it? Guitar chorus, when the guitars go like this, ding 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 ding, it kind of sounds similar to
You
ding, 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 ding,
you had
like the
Burnout
intro.
3.
I played Burnout 3 and
That's
Burnout
pretty
4.
cool. I had Burnout 1. Anyway,
I
You love
remember
being
them
honest with
from
you.
the Republic Commando game, so
Real
But
quick
I'll
thing.
tell
Real
you
quick
later.
thing.
I'll tell you later.
I gotta say. Speaking of video games, the Demon Slayer video game is out, and
wait, it's
unfortunately,
already out.
I think it's out, isn't it? Or it
No,
got announced.
I don't think it's out yet. I think it's they announced that thing.
I got you.
Um,
So
but I don't see the
and if you're a huge fan of like the Bandai style games, it's just like Jump Force or the Clover Knights game, or it's the run and beat 'em up that one style Bandai games are all made from. You just run towards your enemy and beat them up.
Typical Namco Bandai, always doing this shit.
I mean, it's
complained-
not as bad as the Kill La Kill game, so let's hope about that.
I'm not complaining too much. I actually prefer those to Kill la Kill for sure.
yeah. Anyway, as far as like sound design goes, all the sword sound effects, you can really hear them slashing. Footstep sound effects were particularly good, from what I remember. All the voices, fantastic. You can really hear the main character. I'm bad with names.
Anjiro.
Yeah, Tanjiro. You can really hear the passion in his voice. He's almost yeah, I'll talk about him more later when we talk about characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only thing that I found kind of grating was the voice acting for Zenitsu.
Zenitsu. Oh, I hate that guy myself, honestly.
Yeah. I think we're going to we're gonna
Oh boy.
we're gonna put him through the ringer
dude.
in a few minutes. But yeah, anyone have any other takes on sound effects?
I think I have a theory of why Akari Kito sounds like that when she played Nezuko. It's like someone went into the studio and then got them bolder, man. I mean, you think about it for a second. How else would you get? How else could you get those Nesco sounds like that?
I mean, you can put a gag in the mouth, but I don't think it's allowed in Japan.
Okay, for this
Oh,
job, you will
jokes
put a
for
gag in your
freestyle.
mouth.
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
okay,
we're
yeah.
method acting. We're method acting now. Eat this
Hey, why
band.
not?
Yeah,
Christian
Akarin,
Bale can do it. Akari Kito can definitely do that as well. I mean, so.
Hey,
Dude.
Mark Hamill is the closest you're ever going to get to method acting for voice acting. Literally gets out of his chair, paces in the room, in the recording room, and then lets out a shrill laugh for Joker.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Anyway,
Dude.
let's hold on. Let's move on
Yeah.
to the characters. So we of course let me pull it up. We have our main Tanjiro. He is how would I describe him? He's very determined, but a little bit naive and short-sighted, I'd say.
Yeah, fair
In the
enough.
in the early episodes, I thought the same thing about Tanjiro. The fact that he kind of came out like a bitch in some of these scenes because I mean, if you're gonna join something that the Demon Slayers, you gotta have astronomical levels of balls, man. I mean,
Well,
crying all the time, man.
he definitely delivers on that. At no point does he ever like back down from a fight, even if he's like even if he's outmatched to the point where it's ridiculous.
Oh my god, that spider scene, that spider fight.
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
that almost did it, man. Like, Christ, that was one of the toughest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that spider fight. I'm gonna have to say, Slime, take notice. This is how your main character should be. We should feel like he's legitimately inches from death, because that's how you build tension. But yeah, he's definitely he definitely has quite a lot of agency in the story. He drives the plot quite consistently, even when he's being told what to do. He drives the plot quite consistently.
And he's willing to sacrifice everything for his quest, including saving his little sister Nezuko, who is
Yeah,
his main priority for
yeah.
this.
Well, he'll literally run into fights that are completely asinine, like completely stupid to run into, just because someone insulted her. Like that's how that's how determined and maybe a little bit bullheaded he is.
Well, you got to remember, the whole show is set in like pre 19. Was it no 19? Yeah, 1920.
Taisho era.
I don't go by stupid eras.
Hold on. 1912 to 1925. So early 20th century.
Yeah, early 20th century. So this kind of stuff by insulting sister and stuff, like it's normal. It's one of those
Yeah.
things. So it kind of actually adds like a bit of a, I guess, groundness to the whole thing. Like he actually is from that era in the first place. Minus like samurai and weird stuff, obviously. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like an alternate version of the early 1900s. Except you got demons, and I can't help but think that I see some Simon Belmont in Tanjiro.
Considering that when they go closer to like civilization, it's like the last episode where they like police trying to stop them, saying like, "Oh, they have like weapons and like swords, like call the police." That's probably happened after the Hiroshima. So, I mean,
Oh,
You know,
no.
you never.
No, hold on.
oh no, Hirayama. My bad. Sorry, Hiroshima. No, no,
You're horrible.
Hirayama.
You're horrible.
I know I'm horrible with names.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was about to say, yeah, no. This is during the period where the uh the modern Japanese state was starting to take root. So
Yeah.
um,
So they kill all samurais basically.
no,
So
they
yeah,
were,
I
the
mean,
samurai were replaced by the modern system. But yeah, good.
yeah, by police.
Yeah.
So
Oh, keep going.
and a lot of the stuff that is in the show, all of them from story bits to characters, it all fits in this time period. This is probably one of the best shows that actually adopting this specific era in terms of like demons. Because hey, we got another one called Red. What is it? Red Mars. Oh boy, that's horrible. It's from this season, but this one, it takes a lot of bits and pieces from other shonen genre, obviously. But instead of actually adopting just boneheaded like Naruto style nonsense or Bleach or something like that, it actually twists pretty much every single trope on its head sometimes. Because like even though Teichiro, he's a very bright kid. He always like very naive maybe, but he really determined to actually get that thing through. About half of the show in, he finds out that all of his anger, all of his like rage can be put down to the good news because he actually, as was episode 16 or something, when he actually meets the main antagonist of the whole series, for like few episodes, the Michael Jackson guy, as someone called him, and at that point
Mosaki
on,
Mitsuji.
yeah, and at that point on, when he actually sees how freaking powerful the guy is, like, holy crap, I gotta learn a lot. So, and his determination starts to change considerably, actually. Because from like just rushing into battle, he's like, oh, let me study that thing first and then overcome it. So there is more growth of the character over like 26 episodes than there was in, let's be honest, a lot of Naruto shows or something like that. So that's definitely a bonus for the whole show.
Yeah, I
Hey,
found yeah, it's quite compelling watching him go from this sort of naive but very determined and somewhat talented kid to a real man, someone who can someone who has very high amounts of discipline. He trains in that thing where he does his breathing exercise 24/7 even when he's sleeping.
The concentration breathing in the
Yeah,
rehab
yeah.
area.
Imagine imagine even some of the best men uh even being able to do like half of that, having even like half that determination. I highly doubt anyone that has even half that determination and half that work ethic. But he certainly does. Let's move on to
Can I
go ahead.
can I add something real quick? RJ, I know you aren't in Digimon.
I am into Digimon.
Get all this. The guy who plays it, Natsuki Hanae, the guy who plays Tanjiro is also the guy who played Taichi Kamiya in Digimon Adventure. I'm not kidding. He's also 9S in Near Automata.
Well, all
Yeah.
characters have a nice ass. I'm sorry, 9S. Uh, haha. But
I mean,
thing is, he also is voiced by Satami Sato, which is the, well, obviously female. Uh, but in English, he actually voiced by like two
Zach
people as
Aguilar.
well. Yeah,
Yeah, Zach Aguilar
Alarja
and
Clark
Allegra.
and Zach Gallagher.
Oh, sorry. I meant to cut you. Sorry to cut you up, but Allegra Clark. I know Zach Aguilar as not only the English. Yeah, he's also an English voice actor for 9S in Nier Automata, but he's also
Mm-hmm.
Ether in Genshin Impact.
All right,
Yep,
That's
he
right. That's not.
we
also
really have to
slain
move on to the
Triad.
next character.
Yeah. Why is it so bad? Okay. Let's go.
We
Let's go
because
to
we have a
Mexico
time
then.
limit. Anyway, let's move on to Inosuke.
Ooh.
Oh, best character.
Shibata. Yeah, this is the guy. This is the man
The
with the
mad
tail.
lad.
Yeah. This is the guy who, upon receiving a brand new samurai sword, too, he proceeds to go on the what is it, fontaine or something, pick up the rock and start bashing crap out of the sword to make a bit of a groove there. I don't ask me why.
Yeah.
And he also wears a what is it, boar head or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a warhead.
It's I mean, I hope it's clean out of the gut or something. But this is the most crazy person in this show. Like he is what is it, 15, and he already like does all of that stuff.
I
15.
when I first saw him, I thought he was another demon,
Oh yeah.
like some shirtless dude running around with a boar head. I thought the boar head was real and not just a mask. Well, it is a real boar head, but like I thought that was his head. But
Uh,
yeah, Inosuke is very brash. Has kind of poor social skills.
oh.
I mean, the man's an orphan, so
And he why did he join the Demon Slayers? I forgot.
he wanted to get stronger. He
Yeah.
is a very proud person to the point where, oh yeah, he's gonna creep you out. He don't give a shit about you. He just want to kick your ass and be stronger than anyone else.
I mean,
Yeah.
remember, I don't know, it's a spoiler or not, but he also was raised by demons, so it's just like, well, like, no crap, he's gonna join the Demon Slayers
He
to be more strong.
he joined or he joined the main character, the main party for the main character. He joined them because he wanted to kick Tanjiro's
Tanjiro's
ass.
Yeah.
Like he wanted, like that's it. That's the only reason. And then he ended up becoming friends with him. And he definitely has an arc too. He goes from being kind of this this pig-headed, for lack of a better phrase, sort of brash kind of maniac, to someone who's still brash, still kind of a maniac, but very reliable, trustworthy, and just an all-around very good ally to have.
if there's something if there's something I like about Sky is the fact that not only is this man a contortion, it's like this motherfucker is really flexible. I mean, he won't ever be lonely. Let's be honest, but he's also the maddest lad I've ever seen in a while. Like this dude is he got at least one or two massive lights from me because oh the way he treats Sandy, holy shit. I was rooting for that guy all the damn time. That show. Honestly. The fact that man is so loud, it's not a surprise either. Because his voice actor also shares another special role with another mad lad. You remember when we watched RE0?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, this guy, Yoshisuga Matsuoka, was the guy who also voiced Beetlejuice in that series.
Yep.
I knew that. I knew that sounded familiar the first time I saw it. I was like, Beetlejuice, what the fuck, bro? What are you doing here, bro? But yeah. Oh, what can I say about Inosuke that he's not only passionate, he's also incredibly ballsy regarding the fact he wields two swords with those groups. The thing with those groups is I understand that the guy just those rules are for how should I say this? For shredding more than anything else. Like you're gonna be shredding that demon's throat straight up like a half saw. So it looks like a saw more than so that was clearly the consistency he was going for. Also, the dude is jacked. Have you seen that six pack of his? Let's be
Well,
honest
you
with
live in
ourselves.
mountains, like you kind of have to.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Climbing every
so-
single day. Come on. Like,
All right, so we gotta move on to one more,
I need
or
to.
yeah, two more characters. Uh,
oh,
here's the kicker. Zenitsu.
Oh God.
Zenitsu.
White Knight.
The biggest bitch in the anime. Bar
This,
none.
Sleeping
all
Beauty.
this guy did the entire show was scream and cry and bitch and
Well,
moan.
Here's the irony. He also kicked a lot of ass at the end.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know how he
Wait,
kicked ass. He got bonked in the head. Forgot where he was like completely moving unconsciously, and then kicked ass,
Yep.
and then woke up from that and was like, "Oh, what happened?"
Now, here's
Bruh.
the also interesting thing. A lot of girls who enjoyed that anime, they like him.
Really?
His merchandise is very popular among women. So, I don't know what to tell you.
Every time I heard his voice, I wanted to stick pencils in my ear. I hate
mean,
him.
Shiro Sonomo, he played Keima Kutsaragi from the This World is Beautiful. Or was it God Only Knows the World or something? Like, he's definitely on the range there. He can actually play a lot of things. So, I mean, yay. Not to say that English dub is any good anyway.
I
Now,
don't know.
the guy's origin story though. The dude,
Oh.
spoiler alert, dude
Yeah.
gets struck by lightning, and that hair is not his original color.
Yep.
It is no. You would think it was a dive in the case of Zenitsu Agatsuma, but no. That was really what happened. He got struck by a lightning bolt while he was training with his grandfather, adopted grandfather.
Yep. And that's how he became, the good with the, was it lightning style? Or the
Yeah.
thunderstorm style
Yeah,
something?
lightning stuff.
I mean, but the thing is, he needs to get in the sleep to actually perform the damn thing. Otherwise, he's freaking useless.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
first bolt,
basically
thunder, clap,
like
and flash.
it's basically like he's only useful when his character and personality temporarily shuts off.
Well, he just needs to a bit of a DMT, I guess.
He just needs to I don't know, like get killed off.
No. Too much merchandise, dude. Too much merchandise.
Fujoshi, that's Fujoshi, I swear to God.
I mean, I like the character for what he is. Like, because, I mean, he is like one of these comic relief characters. Not bad, kind of annoying, but at the same time, it's like, there are a lot of good puns that he made, or of him, really.
I did
So-
not find him funny at all. I found him
I know.
annoying.
I giggled a bit from what he does, so, it is what it is. They did improve him in the at the end, sorta, when he started actually kicking ass. And in the film, he is actually pretty useless. Well, pretty useful actually. So because he does well, no spoilers. But yeah, I mean, interesting character, interesting take on this kind of a bumbling, sort of a Joker
jackass.
character. Pretty much, but also he kicks ass and stuff. So that's pretty interesting how they handled that specific character in the first place.
You know, to be fair, if I had to be fair, despite the fact that I hated this dude for the rest for all the anime, he does mean well, and he's clearly he's clearly loyal to Tanjiro.
All
So
right.
I can't really, but I can't forget the fact that he's Don't worry, go ahead.
All right,
He's an
so
ass.
there's not a lot to be said about Nezuko because she doesn't have a lot of lines.
If any.
Yeah. So let's talk about the main
I mean,
villain.
she has a gag in her mouth, so
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of hard
Okay,
to talk about
here's the
that.
reason why. Okay, real shit. And I saw a YouTube video about this, but I have a theory of why she doesn't have that many lines. That's because they stuck a Karihito into a replica of the wooden box that Nezuko is in, and just started beating her with bamboo sticks while she was wearing a gag on her mouth.
I mean,
Let's be honest, she did have some lines though, but outside that,
okay.
I think she spoke once
I mean,
since
Twice,
like the
really.
beginning of the show.
yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about Muzan,
Muzan,
the main
Muzan.
baddie.
also known as Taisho era Michael Jackson.
Yeah. He definitely has got that Michael Jackson look about him. And
I mean, not only that, but he's also voiced by Tokushira Seiki, who's also played the what do you call them? The costumes, Senkaku from Kill la Kill, so it's kind of shows. Yeah, I mean, she's great. The costume from Kill la Kill.
Seki.
Yes. So
Oh, see why not? Go ahead. I need to check something.
but the problem with him is that he only shows up there for like 4 or 5 minutes basically from the entire show.
you know,
Well,
I got there's a few scenes
like-
with him, and one scene in particular is pretty freaky. So
The end.
there it's the part where he gets the all like the waning moons together,
Oh.
who are like they're like the lower level top tier demons, and each one of them, and he basically asks each one of them why, or why I shouldn't kill you or whatever, and one by one he kills them, and each
Neko.
one is like either trying to escape or beg for their life. But then but then the last one says, I absolutely deserve to die, and there will be no greater honor than being killed by you. And that's the one he allows to live.
Yep.
Oh
And
God, that
Is
that
let's
that
say that.
scene really sold Muzan as
Uh,
like just how ruthless and intimidating he is.
I mean, I don't know. He reminds me more of a like Thanos. He shows up, says a few things, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go.
Oh wait, this dude voice, this dude is played by the same guy who plays Sagatsu in Kill la Kill. God
Yeah,
damn,
that's what I said.
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't,
I
I
mean,
didn't
he's
know it's
good.
same as a villain. Yeah, really
Also,
good.
he can, because he's a like high level demon, he can also twist his physical form. So at the beginning, like almost the first like half from first showing to the last one to like mid season, he's a dude in the cap, looks like Michael Jackson. Then they realize, oh, we have to actually pay royalty. Um, and then they switch him to the chick in this sort of a traditional Japanese dress. Like you, it's not
Oh, a
yukata, it's something
kimono.
else. No, it's something else. There's a specific name for it. But regardless, he is like formless thing that gives other demons powers
Oh,
and shit.
it's a yukata. Oh, sorry, a yukata.
All right,
Not maybe
so
yukata, but
for time's sake, we got to move on.
yeah.
Let's talk
Sorry.
about the plot.
Let's talk about the plot.
Let's talk
Um,
about
Oh
the
boy.
plot.
what plot?
Let me start.
All right, go ahead.
So let's start with the organization that is secret, Japanese organization that kills demons and stuff throughout the whole, Nippon. And they have like the main head, who is the blind guy, and then 12 like is it 12?
Uh,
12
yeah, it's
people
12.
who are like
The
yeah,
Hashira.
12 of them, yeah. And it's like, how does the government of Japan doesn't know that? Who the hell's sponsoring you in the first place? Because you gotta run not only the whole operation, but also you have like very aesthetic, I would say, like houses and like safe houses, the whole villages and stuff. Like how, why? That's my questions really. That explains like nothing in the show. Maybe in the original material, probably not, but whatever.
You
Um,
know, I I thought
You're
the
not
same thing
supposed to
when I
think about
first
it.
saw
yeah,
Kagaya. When I first saw Kagaya, I thought to myself, did someone put him in a deep fryer when he was a teenager and then he became blind because no in the but outside that the man is wow, the man is actually man, I can only imagine this dude fighting would be incredible regarding being the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps.
well, I would imagine the only logical explanation for this is like he's extremely wealthy, and not him, but his family, and that's why they're running this operation. Because he got salted because someone, well, to put him in the fryer, as you said, and he just wants revenge on all of these, bloodsuckers and stuff. I mean, that's the
We
only
noticed
logical
the vampire.
explanation for
Oh,
all of
sorry,
this.
the vampire. Sorry.
But it's not explained in the show at all. Like, it's just like, oh, there's a secret and, people and stuff.
Yeah,
And
it would make more sense if they had like secret caves or something, or like
yeah,
maybe
and
the houses were like
bat suits.
disguised or
I'm
something.
just gonna quickly say one thing is it's funny how the demons are more like vampires.
Well, Demon is also way more organized. And partially, and you can actually trace that throughout the whole thing. The all of the like good people, good guys in the show are like these true, traditional Japanese folks with the swords and all of that stuff. And the demon either wears a Western clothing or this westernized it's not necessarily yukata, but something close to it.
It's a
And
yukata.
but it looks a bit more like Western-ish as opposed to more traditional one.
Well, I don't know the Demon
And
Slayer
it's like,
uniforms. They're like based off of like army uniforms, and those are largely based off of Western martial styles.
yeah, but we're talking about like the well, you mean like demon army or demon slayer army? Because
Demon
demon slayer
Horse.
No, the
army,
demon slayers,
yeah.
their
But that's
uniform.
not what I'm talking about. Like the whole thing is they have more traditional ask clothing in the first place, like just visually. They have like this, I don't know what the hell we call that, like poncho almost thing. I ignore my sorry my ignorance there, but um it sets up a very interesting tone through the whole like show in the first place, where you have this uh sort of a traditional castles and all of the family thing, and then you have like Demon who's like, oh, I'm in the city. It's like, oh, I see what the message is, but it's like they don't go with that thing too much, but they still show it. And it's just like, how about you go like full on wave with that thing? Um, with the film, they kind of did that as well, but we're not talking about that one yet. Um, the whole ideas of the film is that um, there is no explanation for obviously the funding all of the organization, but demons as well. Like you have no idea what the hell they're doing, why the hell they're there in the first place, and what the ultimate goal really is for the main bad guy. So we're gonna see probably that unfold in maybe second season, but considering the fact that it's shonen, I honestly would doubt that will ever happen.
Yeah. Um yeah, I don't know. I really like at least like the central motivation of the main character. Um you know, him trying to make his sister human again, and the fact that while his sister's a demon, she kicks ass. Also helps with that. It or helps keep it entertaining. Um, she doesn't come out of the box very often, but when she does, it's usually pretty cool.
Oh dear lord.
Yep.
And how? And how? Especially,
Also,
especially, especially when the in one of the episodes she kicks some dude's head clean off his body.
Yep.
And then there's Nesco's gremlin form. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Well,
That girl has been mean to death because of her forms. You were saying?
yeah, but I mean, remember Netsuka Run?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, yeah, that's cute. That's the reason why they put that thing in the show or in the original, I think, as well.
I feel like I feel like it's a bit of a reference to a rally from Dr. Slump. Yeah,
Maybe,
I'm
but
not kidding. I'm not kidding. Like straight up, the way she runs reminds me of a rally.
I mean, more like Naruto thing, but okay.
No, no, yeah,
You know,
but
like hands to the side and to the back.
yeah, to cut the aerodynamics and all that. But but interesting enough, the plot of the series reminds me a bit of Dracula. It actually reminds me of Dracula. That's in the same
yeah.
in a bit of a
I
sense.
mean, RJ
Uh,
just said it. They remind him of vampires more than demons.
Yeah,
in his case,
yeah,
it was
like
in
straight
Castlevania.
up, yeah, straight up Dracula from Castlevania.
Muzan could easily be a Devil May Cry villain.
I mean, he's a bit too spicy, even for DMC.
Musan is too hot for DMC. How is that impossible? How is that possible?
Should you play the last one?
I've
I
seen
mean,
the last one. I mean,
yeah,
never on
I think,
Virgil though.
look, the villain fits perfectly into the theme that they present us with. This idea that like, you know, yeah, you human piece of meat, but you gotta care about other people and you gotta be, you know, good and just and all that other stuff. Versus the guy who's like, oh, I'm gonna kill whoever the hell I want. I'm gonna promote the most like, well, basically the person who's gonna give me more power or whatever the hell he wants. Because we don't have his motivation in the first place.
I'm guessing his motivation is very vanilla. Destroy humanity, turn them into demons, that
It's,
kind of shit.
I mean, it's not like he says nothing. That's the problem of the show. Like he's very menacing, but he's like, "Oh, I don't have motivation. F you," basically.
Yeah, that is definitely a good point. Like, not knowing what the main villain even wants, is especially after
Well,
like 26 episodes and a movie.
mm, well, the thing is, you gotta remember there's a 6 arcs that they adapted from the original manga in the first place. So you kind of have to realize like they chopped a lot of stuff. Like out of like
Yeah, but they still they
six
still should
arcs.
have like still should have done something to like explain the motivation of the main villain. I mean, even even a villain as silly as like the main villain from like Magic Knight Rayearth, um,
Oh god.
he was a pretty flat villain. There wasn't much to him, but uh, they laid it out. They laid it out perfectly clear. He wants to marry the princess. That's his motivation, and that immediately makes him compelling to a certain extent. Uh, Even if he isn't like the most well written villain or anything like that. Um, so yeah, I do think his lack of motivation in the show, even if you can say, oh, they cut a lot of stuff from the manga,
Oh,
well,
they did.
And it's published, we're used to it.
it's still a problem. We're not reviewing the manga, we're reviewing the anime, and
Yeah, but the thing is, the difference between manga and anime is really like very subtle, so it's not that much of a difference. And for this kind of story, I think it like here's the thing. It works for what it is. Do we have to know his motivation for a first season? Not necessarily. It's still a complaint from me, but the thing is, you have enough other villains to fill that like, oh, here's this arc and there's a villain there and there's a villain here and then the problem is that we already have like 100 almost 200 chapters of that thing, and the only ones that had been adapted are TV show 50 of them. Uh, excuse me, 52 of them specifically, and then the film got adapted as the 17 of them. So the second season is going to be adapting at least, let's say, 30 of them or 20 something. Um, it is what it is.
yeah,
And it works in a way that, let's say, if I'm gonna bring up the Cape stuff, but it works in the same way as Marvel stuff, I guess, because it's like the closest example I can bring of myself to, where you have no idea who the hell Thanos is in the first place when Avengers happened. And by the end of it, it's like, oh, well, here's the motivation of that thing in the last, well, in the second to last, I guess, film, in the whole saga, right? They can pull something like that if
maybe.
they have enough stepping
Maybe.
stones to it.
And you are right that there are enough villains to kind of fill the gap. and you understand their motivations. Though I did find for some of them, uh, it would, you'd have like an entire episode that's just a flashback showing the villain's motivation. And I found I'm thinking specifically of the main spider demon. Um,
Hmm.
I started to get sick of it, and I was really hoping they would just like I was really wishing that they would be a bit more brief with it.
Oh, regarding
Oh.
really a spider with Rui. Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. But otherwise, the other villains, quite well done. Uh,
And there was actually than anything else, especially Susumaru and what's the other, and Chachamaru, the two people who tried to kill Nezuko and with both the with oh sorry, Chachamaru's the cat. I meant to say the two people who worked for Musan. Yahaba, yeah, that's his name. To do with the palm, with the eyes in his palm, and the chick with the two tamaris.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is honestly one of the most entertaining fights I've seen because of the both the fact that dude uses arrows and what's her name uses a traditional Japanese cannonball as a weapon. That's something I haven't seen in my right now. I find it interesting that a lot of the stuff that a lot of the weapons they use are based on traditional Japanese items like the Japanese drums and so on.
yeah. All right. We are at time, so it is now time to give conclusions and ratings. Uh, Josh is not here, so we will start with RJ. Give your rating.
Boy,
What'd you say?
I'm thinking. I like the soundtrack. I love the animation. I like the character design for the most part. I'd say fuck. I can't decide between 8.5 or a 9. I'll just go with I'll give it a 9.
All right.
Um,
Neko.
Oh boy. The thing is, for the last 5, 6 years, I kind of hated shonen genre because they all kind of sucked. Sorry, fans, but it is what it is. This one kind of reinvigorated my faith in actual franchises like this in the first place, and specifically genre. Even though it's made by Fraud Table Studio, but it's still a good show. I'll give it an 8.
All
'Cause
right.
that villain needs motivation.
Striker, and don't be afraid to, you know, uh, get whatever off your chest. Striker.
yeah, I'm here. All right. You guys know my reaction when you guys announced that we were going to review Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah.
This was a show. I was livid. Livid was close. The closest thing I would describe. I tried so hard to actually avoid this anime because of how overhyped it was. The problem is, if you hype something so often, it will actually turn people off. And having the little time that I have dedicated to the show was an experience in itself. I personally, the soundtrack, it was actually pretty cool. The voice acting was also really fucking good. In fact, almost everything in the show was actually really was actually good. I was just honestly, fuck Zenitsu. But outside that, this show was fun as fuck, especially the fights with the other demons. the fact that a few of the characters who actually suck, even the characters who suck, actually have their own redeeming factors. Like, I mean, we already talked how Zenitsu goes into a trance when he attacks a completely different person. And then there's Natsuko, who's she has this insane mental resilience to not harm anyone because she remembers what her father told her. All humans are her family. Don't attack people. Simple, right? Well, considering that you had to take a small sample of blood to quench that thirst, I could also say Inosuke and Nezuko are easily the best two characters in this series, bar none. Especially besides the two swordsmen, who are absolute assholes. I mean, like straight up, they made the swords, and then they get really fucking pissed off when you break them. I mean, seriously,
Well,
Hotaru, chill the fuck out, my dude. It's a sword. I know you worked your ass on it, but damn.
I mean, that's again going back to tradition and the time period. Yeah, for that kind of thing, even now, you gotta your head chopped off if you do this with any sword period in Japan.
I mean, in the case of Kanamori and Haganesuka-san, those two, yeah, those two were funny as shit. I mean,
Yep.
especially their masks were actually okay. So I gotta get this shit off my chest.
Okay.
Would I actually watch the movie? Hell yes, because it's a
Oh yeah.
continuation. I love the fact it's a show. It's a continuation, and
N-
not just bullshit, some bullshit arc.
Not
It's like
not only that, but remember the last episode where they were sitting on the train? Well, wait, they
yeah,
were jumping on the train. This exact moment is where the film actually starts. At the same point. It's
exactly.
so
They
good. And you can
announced it.
actually see in the show where the train comes out, in the TV show, the screen fades in the black, right, with the
Yeah,
titles going in.
Infinity
In
Train
the
adaptation
yeah,
confirmed.
yeah. In the actual in the actual film, this is how the show starts. So uh, it's amazing. It's good. It's awesome.
Oh
This
god.
is craftsmanship of, this is how you're supposed to do shonen genre. This is how you're supposed to do like TV into movie adaptation. This is a new, I would say, gold standard. Even though I give it 8, it is a gold standard of what we have now. And I'm sorry, but Eva, we don't need you anymore. Get out of here.
All right. Striker
Okay,
still
let me
has the
give you my
floor.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was originally going to get this show a 7.5, but considering how much of an experience the show was, this is 8.5. It really is.
Oof.
And I love the fact this show absolutely pissed off the West. The Western Cape shits are seething to this day when it came to this show.
Oh
It's
yeah, the
amazing.
All right.
Nezuko stuff. Yeah.
Anyway,
Not just the Nezuko shit, but also this show is outselling the big franchises. This show actually outsold DC and Marvel. That is quite an accomplishment. In
all
fact,
right.
this is actually one of the highest selling animes out there.
All
But
right.
yeah, 8.5.
Anyway.
We're done.
All right.
Okay,
Anyway,
Go
here we
check it
go.
out.
so when I watched this show, I didn't really have any expectations. I very rarely do have expectations going into anime made in like the past 5 years or whatever.
Boomer.
Not that I like hate new anime or something. I just don't expect much from them, and then sometimes they surprise me and end up being quite good. And this one surprised me. It is quite good. Um, it's got some issues here and there, like what I mentioned with CGI, um, and what Neko mentioned with like, well, how does the government not know this organization exists? And you know, an annoying character here and there. But overall, it's quite a fun watch. It doesn't have that Naruto vibe that that I really hated. Um, I haven't seen a lot of shonen like real shonen anime that wasn't an isekai in a long time. I think the last one I saw may have been Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I have to say, you know, it's a breath of fresh air watching a decent action anime that's not an isekai. And yeah, it's good. I'd recommend it. I'm going to give it an 8 and divide that by 4 for our average, and our average score is 8.4. Let's look on Mal, and
On IMDb, it's 8.7.
yeah,
So
and
not
on
so far.
and on Mal it's 8.59, so 8.6. So yeah, that's some good stuff. Thank you to anyone who watched this. Glad to have you on. It was a little rough with technical issues. If you sat there and watched the same still image, the props to you. Thank you very much. We will see you all next month. Bye, everyone.
Hey,